What's going on, Taurus? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and it's going to be a reading for the remainder of July 2023. So in this reading, Taurus, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy for the rest of the month. We're going to take a look at some things you do not see coming. We're also going to get some advice from your angels and spirit guides and so much more regarding the remainder of July 2023, Taurus. Now, before we begin this reading, as always, I do want to take a moment to let you know that you are very welcome here in this space with me as we go through this reading. And I really do appreciate you in advance, Taurus, for taking the time to check this reading out. Now, if this general reading happens to resonate with you, definitely smash that like button, subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. I would also really appreciate that over here. But without further ado, I'm going to pull the energy and we'll see what wants to come through for you, Taurus, for the rest of July 2023. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Taurus. Yeah. Yeah, let's see what we got going on. Very interesting vibrations that are already coming through. It was like as soon as I started talking in this reading, like the introduction, I felt a frequency shift, which is actually a really good thing. But we'll see what's going on. Okay, Taurus, very interesting energy that you got, but before we get into the tarot, let's start this reading off with some pre-shuffled oracle cards from the universe for you. And this is going to be the frequency that Spirit really wants you to sit with and focus on. Really just sit with these frequencies for the rest of the month. Now, the first frequency Spirit wants to bring to your attention and for you to sit with is actually the frequency of sorrow here. Okay, so this is really to dive deep to the root of your own pain, and I am feeling this in a relational sense for you. Some of you it's going to be beyond relationships, but there really is a necessary grieving process that many of you are going to be going through. Some of you could have recently went through a breakup, or there could be lingering feelings of pain that are coming up from a breakup, or some of you quite actually may be feeling a little bit lonely to a certain degree, or you're missing someone, or maybe there was the death of a pet or a family member, or grieving of a lover. And really, you see the person on this card is actually the cousin of Buddha. And they said that when Buddha passed away in a state of enlightenment, stillness, peace. But the whole night, this person was like grieving Buddha's, body. They were like, hey, cousin of Buddha, why are you so upset? Like Buddha died enlightened, like there was no pain. And like his response was like, no, I'm grieving because I still haven't attained enlightenment, and now my master is gone. His master cousin is gone. And the story goes that this individual, Buddha's cousin, really went to the root of his pain that night. He sat with his pain. He went to the root of it. He grieved. He cried as much as he, wanted. He allowed himself to go to the depths of that pain without blaming himself, without getting into blame, self-pity, just feeling the sensation of pain, not adding mental layers of meaning to it, but literally the feeling in your body of pain. And they said the next morning that Buddha's cousin right here on the card woke up enlightened. And so there's a message to you here to actually process your pain, to make sure that emotions aren't being trapped in your body or being suppressed, denied, projected, deflected. Something with pain in love here. I really feel like there's something for you to sit with pain. Don't be afraid to go into pain And it's just coming through as a necessary grieving process from a relationship. Some of you, this may actually have to do with actually other things like your current place in life if you're not making as much money, but most of you, this is a relationship. So don't be afraid to go into that pain. Now you also have what else do you need? You actually need, or what frequency do you need to contemplate? And it is the frequency of silence. So the Zen state, having no thoughts here. And it actually is a very beautiful transition that you have sorrow and then you have silence, because the truth is silence is the transformer of sorrow here. And so for a lot of you, what this is telling me is that before you can get to a state of full present moment awareness where there is absolute bliss, absolute connection with universal energy and everything, and really just peace that arises from your natural state of being, when we can unplug from the matrix, unplug from all these thoughts in our head. There's something here, Taurus, about silence is going to heal your pain, but it won't heal your pain until you go into the sorrow. You see, the sad truth is most people have never touched the present moment ever in their life, unless they're on some sort of crazy drug or like doing something dangerous, because it forces you into the present moment. But that's still a different quality of presence. And there's something here about a lot of you will be much more happy if you can like let go of some sort of pain, not by avoiding it, but by actually sitting in a dark room and going into it. And then after that storm clears, there will be silence here. Okay, I don't know if many of you know about my own spiritual awakening story, but my spiritual awakening was actually sparked by the breakup of one of my first serious girlfriends, who I believed to actually be my twin flame at the time. I think it's like all of our significant relationships are soulmates, but what happened to me was there was all this crying, there was this going in, grieving, and then at a certain point, I was in such pain that I had a moment, or a literal extended period of enlightenment for a while, where I just sat there and I processed all the pain and there was no more thoughts. So my greatest accomplishment, and the reason I'm saying this is because it's related to your life, Taurus, for the rest of July. My greatest accomplishment, and the reason why I have so much peace in my life right now, no matter what goes on in the outside, is because I know how to turn off the mind. But the truth is, and the problem that many of you are going to run into, is the depth of the present moment is actually infinite, and it's completely infinite. There is more and more layers of bliss, stillness, peace that can be brought to you, but you first have to process your pain. The reason why people are doers, people, you ever meet those people, and some of you are going to be those people, and there's absolutely no judgment, because I fall in this to some extent still. They're constantly doing. They can never sit with themselves. They're talking to friends. They're doing work, and then they're getting high. It's like they can never just like be, because when they try to sit with themselves, the sorrow comes up. They don't want to feel that. They don't want to go to the root of the pain, so it still stays there. So for a lot of you, I actually feel like you're over someone. For some of you, this is going to be a more fresh breakup, or something is going to happen that sparks pain, and don't be afraid of that pain. Eventually, the silence will encompass you, but first you have to feel into that pain. So don't be afraid to reach out to someone for help, like some sort of like spiritual professional or someone who can help guide you through this. Or if you want to do it solo, you could also just read a book called The Power of Now, or just do anything that will increase your meditative power, because it's really important for you. And then once that happens, it looks like the storm is going to clear, because you have maturity here. The other frequency you need to contemplate is maturity. And whenever this card comes out, it shows that you are in a position to make physical moves from a completely different state of maturity here. So the universe is essentially saying, Taurus, if you want more money, if you want more status, if you want more physical possessions, Taurus ruled by Venus, so better food, better surroundings, better items, better money, you're ready for it. But what it's saying to me is you basically, for some of you are in the middle of passing the test, but every single situation prepares you for the next situation in life. Every relationship prepares you for the next one. And whatever you're letting go of, whatever you're grieving right now, it's setting you up for a life of abundance and peace and happiness. But if you try to avoid the pain, and if you try to avoid being by yourself, then that's when you're going to run into problems here. Because in what you don't see coming, and just in this reading in general, there does seem to be a lot of a frequency of you taking time out for yourself, a lot, as much as you can. And this really does go in alignment. Like the last reading I did for you a while ago was all about Zen, and that theme seems to be coming up, like really taking, because here's the thing, Taurus is the most grounded sign. So this is from a certain level of perspective, but when you are Zen, when you communicate with the universe, you can get Zen through prayer, you can do active stuff, but when you're just in that state of complete stillness, zero thoughts, it comes off different when a Taurus does that. People are like, you know, what? Who is this? Is it like Buddha incarnate? Like, it's something about an earth sign that is present, that is different than a water, you know, heavy water in your chart. You might be like, ooh, mysterious. Like a grounded earth sign in the present moment is very beautiful thing, and because you're the most grounded sign, it comes off as very attractive. You know, many of you might actually be in this place of your life where you're trying to become more attractive, you're trying to improve yourself, and what I'm getting from this is really less is more. The theme seems to keep repeating, where happiness at this point in your life doesn't seem to be like adding on. It's like subtracting toxic relationships and just being able to be with yourself, because the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one with yourself. But I do feel like you're being tested. For those of you who went through a breakup a while ago, some of you could be right smack in the middle of a storm, like of a breakup. There's an opportunity for there's a weird opportunity. So let's get into the tarot now. Hope I'm not ranting, but this is what I'm getting. So when it comes to your opportunity for the month, the rest of July, is actually the Five of Swords is your opportunity. And this is a really interesting opportunity, because usually the Five of Swords is one of the nastiest cards in the tarot. It has to do with literally like war. Like it could have to do with someone really taking advantage of someone, like on the more negative sense, like killing, you know, raping, like completely conquering. But it also could just have to do with anger coming out, like in your personal relationships. And for a lot of you here, with your opportunity of sorrow, what I'm getting is there's either someone who's going to trigger you, who's going to re-spike these feelings of sorrow, or for a lot of you, this is just something that you're going to have to work through, feelings of anger, feelings of, I want to, you know, this is unfair, I have all this anger, or something. We're going to have to see why that's your opportunity. There could be an opportunity for you to get aggressive in your life if you feel someone has crossed a boundary. And it's like, if you feel like you have to, because some of you, what I'm picking up now is you may have to like stand up to some sort of like bully, or you may have to express your anger to someone, so that, or maybe not to someone, but if you feel that would cause problems, but you need to express your anger in some sort of way, like this is messed up. But for a lot of you, it has to deal with an active situation still in your life. So we're gonna have to really clarify that one, but it makes sense because the opportunity is the Five of Swords, you know, and that's also what scares people about like working with their pain and becoming more present, which opens the gateway to your destiny just naturally and everything. Because people are conditioned, you know, these emotions are correct, these ones aren't. If I'm a spiritual person and I start to feel anger and I start to feel all these lower emotions, I'm not spiritual. And it's just like nothing could be further from the truth. Some of you, this could have to do with ancestral trauma. If this doesn't have to do with a person that you're grieving over or your situation in life, then it actually could be ancestral trauma. Or for those of you that are super empaths, you're transmuting something for the collective. I don't, because you're always doing that anyway. But what I'm telling you is because all of our ancestors are crazy. I mean, like, I'm not from here. Many of you like have souls that are just like, of course I've had past lives on Earth, but it's just like, what I'm saying is there's a different frequency, especially if you're a regular listener to me. Like, I guarantee you're not in the traditional trappings of most humans. But it's like, if you try to deny, suppress, and disown your humanity, which includes all of these weird ancestral feelings, then you're once again, you'll be blocked off from the present moment. So, or even if you get into the present moment, like people can like feel the weird darkness within the present moment, and it won't be good. So, I don't know. But when it comes to your opportunities, the Five of Swords, and your challenge is the Devil. So for some of you, I'm getting like you need to stand up for yourself. It's like the classic frequency of if you're a little kid and you're getting picked on, just like start going crazy. Like make the bully think you're crazy. And I'm not actually advising this, but just to give you the situation I'm sensing in your life. If a little kid's being bullied, the best thing you can do is stand up for yourself. And it's like, even if you think you're going to lose the fight, if it's like a physical fight, like just start going ham. Like just start flailing, and the person will leave you alone. The bully will pick on someone else who's an easier target. So for some of you, that's definitely going on. You may have to tell someone, hey, like you can't just push me around. Like I am a Taurus. Do you not understand? I'm heavier than you. No, but like Taurus is like strong. Like you guys are some strong people out there. So you're like, but that's not really what's going on here. It's more so thoughts, because the Five of Swords has to do with the element of air. So this could be going on internal very easily. But the Devil's your challenge. So some sort of toxicity you're going to be processing. Once again, these are one of those things we're going to really have to clarify as we go along. Speed this reading up so we can get to the clarification portion, because often that is actually more important for details. Now, when it comes to your overall general energy, it's really actually not a bad rest of the month at all. It's just mysterious and grounding. You have the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Swords, and you also have the High Priestess here for the rest of the month in terms of your overall general energy. So there's a lot of truth that was once hidden from you coming to the light, and whatever this truth is, it's going to be grounded in reality. So there was a certain percentage of Tauruses that clicked off this reading when I started talking about meditation, because they're like, listen, I don't really... I'm worried about what's happening in my world. I'm worried about getting money and improving myself. I can't just listen to this like hoopla. But what you don't understand is like when you gain knowledge into the occult, when you gain knowledge into the present moment, whatever that process is for you, that gives you power in the physical world. Because if you're trying to be someone, you're too in your ego. You think you know everything. When you become a valley, like when you become nobody, having no thoughts, it's almost like higher quality thoughts can come to you, and based on the law of attraction, the thoughts that you do generate will be conscious and more powerful to attract things to you that you want. So this whole process of going within and being silent, that is the number one thing that gained me power in the physical world. Of course, I had to take action and everything, because there's something about the physical world is why I'm saying this. It's all connected with the Knight of Pentacles. So there's some sort of, I just feel like there's a mystery being revealed to you. There could be some sort of deep universal knowing that may not be something you read in a book. It's just your own understanding of how the universe works, going through this process of sorrow and silence and maturity. Because if you like, what are the cards that came out in the Oracle deck? Sorrow, silence, and maturity. If you really want to look at it this way, then you can see those same frequencies expressed in your overall general energy. You have maturity here with the Knight of Pentacles. You have potentially sorrow with the High Priestess, and you have silence potentially, or interchangeable. I don't know. I think I'm a little bit ranting, but here's the thing: something will be revealed to you that will ground you more. I feel like it has to do with a universal principle, or something to do with meditation and clearing out your energy. But this is why it's difficult, because it's like, do you know how many spiritual people out there? It's like they think they're so, like, of course everyone is spiritual, no one can take that away from you, but there's levels to the game, right? People can sage all they want, people can go to yoga, people can buy crystals, people can read as many books, but if you haven't found the off button to your mind, then you're going to be way levels behind people spiritually, okay? So just be aware of that. There is a hierarchy to spirituality. It's an enemy. People make an enemy out of that in the spiritual community. What do you mean? We're all No, it's like, no, like, it's like anything in this life. We are in a physical world. There is polarity, there is hierarchy, and I'm just trying to get you to the upper echelon with me. And it's a paradox, because it's like, in order to get to the upper echelon, you have to forget about any sort of idea of echelon. And then you'll naturally be there, right? Especially as a Taurus, when you're there, it's, oh my God, it's a beautiful thing to see. But here's the thing, when it comes to what you don't see coming, you have the Page of Cups, the Hermit, and also the Six of Wands here. So there is a lot of understanding coming in that leads to victory for you. Really deep contemplation. The Hermit is the silence card. It's you going within, withdrawing from the physical world for a while. The Page of Cups here has to do with, a youthful enthusiasm, a bubbly personality, someone who's quite gullible, someone who, so you may have downloads about, someone's immaturity around you, because a lot of you, the opportunity with the Five of Swords and your opportunities is to see like someone doesn't have the best intentions towards you. And this is really, I'm always going inner first, because the inner creates the outer for the most part. But you could have a soul contract here that needs to be looked at. Someone who doesn't want to see you advance to the next level, someone who wishes ill will on you. I mean, the opportunity is the Five of Swords, the challenge is the Devil. That really could be someone who has quite nasty intentions for you. And there's an opportunity to look at this from a different perspective, right? To view someone as immature, right? Because when we see, what is this? The frequency of Five of Pentacles is an angry frequency. And if we spiritually look at the frequency of anger, it's actually a cover emotion for the frequency of what? Sadness. So you see how this person isn't getting mad. Oh, I'm not mad that Buddha, my cousin, died. I'm just sad. Because that's actually the true frequency. So you could be just looking at someone around you who is causing you or wishes to cause you harm, and you just start to view them as a very immature being, that needs to source energy, that needs to feed on people's energy. Just to give you and this whole process of going within and sorting through this is going to lead to really a lot of success for you in the physical world. You have the Six of Swords here, the Six of Wands, public victory, getting attention from other people. The Knight of Pentacles, grounded, working energy, and you have this maturity, Ace of Pentacles here. There's going to be a lot of material success coming to you, but in a different way than you're used to. What I'm picking up as well is that when you withdraw this month, there's going to be a lot of people who are wondering about you. So this attention that you could get could even be like spiritual attention. You know what I mean? I just had a whole rant that I was going to go into, but then I kind of switched the flow a little bit, Taurus. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about what I was going to say. It came back to me. When I was starting off my spiritual journey, because I was raised Christian, and my whole life I was terrified of demons because I'm very extrasensory, so I can always peep, entities, and I can feel them, and I was always fearing them, which was feeding them, basically. And there's something in this reading about the thing that helped me overcome my fear of ghosts or demons or dark energy around me, because someone is, for a lot of you, there could be someone sending you dark energy, and this is how you can get away from this, even if it's a physical person. Could be a spiritual attack some of you are experiencing here. You're really meant to transmute this within. You don't need to hire some sort of Pope to come through to your house and I will clear it. Well, maybe if that's your belief system, that's fine. But what I'm saying is this. At a certain point when I gained spiritual awareness, you start to realize that ghosts or demons that are sticking around are immature fragments of source consciousness who have forgotten their own connection to source. And so what they do is they stick around in this kind of weird halfway world, template level reality. They're not really in heaven anymore. They're not in the high dimension. They're not in the 3D. They're kind of stuck in this weird thing, and they try to freak humans out to source their energy to feed the thought form so that it keeps going alive. It's like thought energy. When you focused on a demon, you're scared of it. So for a lot of you, this has to do with a person in your life, past situation you're grieving. When you send them energy and you believe in their power, that feeds them. If you believe in this person's power who's sending you bad energy, that will feed it. That will grow them stronger. There was a day that I said, or I learned, a demon is basically a ghost is an immature teenager who doesn't really understand how the world works yet. And so what you can do is you can just say, you can switch the dynamic, basically. I'm ranting way too long about this. Thank God I'm reading for Taurus, because you don't really tend to care as much as other times. Geminis would be he's boring! You know what I mean? Maybe some of you have a Gemini moon, and so now you're but what I'm saying is, there's something here. If someone's angry with you, if you're getting spiritually attacked, you gotta view it as immature. Be hey buddy, you can connect to source. You don't need to feed off me right here, right? I was in Mexico last year at an Airbnb, and there was a little girl. There was a thought form, or you could call it a ghost. A thought form is a ghost, a demon, or whatever you want to call it, that was in the house. And it was this little girl in a bathroom. The door would slam open, and I was in my bedroom. I could see it in the bedroom, and I just basically had a chat with this thing, and I was hey, you don't got to be here anymore. I don't know what happened in this house. I don't know what happened in this house, but you don't, like, you can go connect to the Father. You can go connect whoever you're missing. You can go back to source now. Like, I invited an invitation of a transmutation. And that's what you could do here in your own life. Like, that's what you're going to be doing. So it's deep spiritual transformation, and it may just be with basic human emotions, right? I'm giving you this from a higher dimensional perspective. You don't need to know all this. All you need to know is that you need to process the root of your pain. You need to help. Maybe some of you, if this is not what you're experiencing directly, you're helping someone go through this. A lot of you as well. So there could be an opportunity for you to help someone with this, but for a lot of you, there is some sort of weird person sending you negative energy, particularly if you broke up with someone and they don't want to break up with you, or something about, it's weird, I'm talking about ghost. Could be something about ghosting here. Someone's mad or something. Because I don't know, but let's see. When it comes to your advice from Spirit, and I love how I said I'm going to speed this up to get to the clarification, and I'm just ranting, whatever. When it comes to your advice from Spirit, you have the Ace of Wands, you have the Seven of Swords, and you also have the Eight of Pentacles here. And that's an interesting, that's a very interesting piece of advice that I would say. We're going to have to clarify it as well. What I would say is you're definitely working, Spirit is advising you to work through some sort of really painful thought. And the Seven of Swords, it doesn't surprise me it comes out. The Five of Swords is your opportunity. You may be working with ancestral trauma, or if this is more of an interpersonal sense of someone screwed someone over, and you're really learning how to transmute this frequency is what I'm getting. Learning to understand people. Like putting yourself in their shoes, like why would someone do this to me, and then putting yourself in their shoes and maybe understanding it more. There is going to be a lot of, don't keep working as well. If you have a job or something, you could balance this out with this as well. There's also a new beginning, though, Spirit wants you to go with. You have the Ace of Wands here when it comes to your advice. And I do feel like you're going to be tapped into Spirit. The Ace of Wands is like a brilliant idea, or like a brilliant frequency that comes from above that makes you inspired. Whenever you feel like chills or inspiration, that's how you know Spirit is hovering right over you. You're right on the mark. Unless you're sociopath and you get chills when you're going to kill someone. Hopefully not, right? Or maybe you're dealing with that person. Hopefully not. But yeah, Ace of Wands in your advice. There's a new beginning that comes from all this. And I don't really think you see this coming, because I read chronologically, and in this row, you have the Six of Wands, Victory, Ace of Wands underneath it. There's going to be a new beginning that comes from this, but I do feel whatever new beginning you have that comes from this was something you're meant to go through. So that being said, let's start clarifying. I'm actually gonna just had to switch the camera off for a second to extend the time. So let's clarify why the Five of Swords is here in your advice. I mean, what is that about? I don't even know. Let's go ahead and see. Why is the Five of Swords here in your advice, Taurus? It's an interesting piece of advice. Okay, the Five of Swords in your advice is clarified by the Two of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and also the Five of Cups here. So this is either you being really upset that someone chose a different path and quickly, or it's someone, for a lot of you, it's someone that's very upset with you for choosing a different path in life and kind of happening quickly. There is something here about someone got caught off guard and it led to anger. This could be you if you feel that someone decided to disconnect from you rather quickly. It could be in a career sense or whatever sense is going on for you. For most of you, it is a very close interpersonal relationship. I feel like there's a lot of, once again, you have the Five of Cups here, a lot of sadness to look at in your opportunity here. And really, how are you going to deal with this pain? It can either push you into the shadow or it can bring you into the light. You have a choice to make. How are you going to deal with this pain? How are you going to deal with this person projecting all of this stuff onto you? And so for some of you, you could be actually, if someone really treated you badly, or if someone's really making you sad because they chose a different path in life, you just have to not take it personally and just realize someone actually could be immature because you have this Page of Cups here. Either way, Taurus, there's really a choice about how you're going to transmute all this pain, because we all know the quote, hurt people, and that could be what's going on here. I don't know. Let's see what the devil's here in your challenge, because this will tell us more. Why is the devil here in your challenge? Okay, the devil in your challenge is clarified by the 3 of Swords, the Page of Wands, and also the 7 of Wands here. I'm going to be honest, there's something here about attachment and someone can't let someone go. I don't know what this is about. I honestly feel like someone is so defensive or so hurt that someone may have closed a line of communication. And a lot of this may be happening just like in the spiritual realms if you've gone no contact with someone or something like that. But in your challenge here, someone is really heartbroken, and this could be you over the death of someone here. You're really resistant to it. I wish it didn't happen. This is really a heart wall as well. Because the 7 of Wands is about putting up a boundary, defending yourself, and the heart here is the 3 of Swords. So someone here is like really closing off their heart, and it could have to do with immaturity here, Page of Wands in your challenge. What I would advise you is if you're going through a really painful situation, try not to close off your heart. And this is why the Sorrow card is here as well, because there's something here that if you try to brush it under the rug, it can really damage you. Like you can say, how am I supposed to trust people after this? How am I supposed to commit to people after this? And you just have to commit to the present moment first, and then you'll attract a completely different quality of people, etc. But I just get like immature, defensive heartbreak is your challenge. Immature, defensive heartbreak. So that's your challenge, and that's something you're going to have to work through in some sort of way, is what I'm getting. So let's just clarify what the High Priestess is here in your overall general energy, Taurus. Why is the High Priestess here in your overall general energy? Okay, the High Priestess is clarified by the 8 of Cups, the Justice card, and also the Death card here when it comes to your overall general energy. So there's a lot of spiritual like justice and transformation and endings that are going on in your life here. Very spiritual month for you, like I keep saying. But the 8 of Cups is here. You're moving on. You're searching for something better here. I just feel like there's almost like a mystery that you want to get to the bottom of here. Like, why did something end? But you just have to know that justice will be restored in your life as long as you don't. There also could be something here about choose to walk away instead of engage. That is what I feel here. A lot of you may try to, depending on the situation that you find yourself in, if someone screwed you over, if someone is doing psychic attack on you, if there's a weird energy going on here, then there could be some sort of temptation for you to like use this sword, and like not just any sword, but a sword coming from a Taurus is like literally like some sort of like, it's an intimidating thing. And you might like try to ground a sword here. You might try to like really get aggressive with someone. And I just feel like, honestly, maturity and the ability to walk away might be better for you in terms of karma in the end. I can't tell you what to do. I'm just telling you what I'm getting. And it's like almost like, if I'm like just in the street with someone and, I don't know, I've had this happen like recently, or like people like recognize me, people like recognize me and they like start like trying to like start shit with me. It's like, what am I going to gain by engaging in that? In that, like nothing. Like, you can win a fight, but you can lose the war, right? You like, that's like the danger that you're in. Like, you can win a fight, but you can lose a war. Now, that's not going to be for all of you. I'm just thinking more of you dealing with something more physical, tangible, beef. I don't think all of you are, but some of you are. So, this could be family stuff as well. This could be deep ancestral stuff as well if this is not about a specific person. So just be aware of all this. I feel like you're meant to transcend this. And this could be a really deep work that you're going through here. All this could have to do with a family member as well. Distant, just all happening energetically because the sun has been in Cancer. And that really, astrologically, the sun has been in Cancer, which like we're in Cancer season, which sheds light on ancestry, home, roots. And some of you may find that the situation that you're going through with an interpersonal relationship may actually be a repeating pattern from your family. So whatever difficult interpersonal relationship that you're going through right now, I would ask you to look at, have my parents, grandparents, extended family gone through the same thing? It's just a cycle repeating in my own line that I'm meant to transmute. Okay, so just be aware of that. So yeah, there's a lot of good things coming here. There will be, as long as you go within and you don't act out of anger, I feel like you'll be good here. But what I'm trying to say is this: in your opportunity, you can get over this quickly. Okay, and I apologize for not saying this sooner. The degree to which you can go to the root of your pain will determine how quickly you can shift your timeline. You see how this is your opportunity? The Knight of Swords has to do with speed. Aggressively attacking something with zero fear. Gusto. I don't care what the result is, let's just go into the pain. So if you can, like, I'm telling you, if you try to avoid this pain, even if it's a distant breakup, there's some sort of really deep sorrow that you're experiencing on some level, family, relationship, something, life, there's like a path for you, and that's why there's like these paths. Like there's this path where you try to like poison drip it, you try to ignore it, you're still carrying it with you everywhere. Whereas if you just take one night in the rest of July, and you're just like, I'm gonna sit with a candle and just like go really deep into this pain, you're gonna really shift your life. Now, for those of you that are not that accustomed to doing this type of stuff, I would say maybe have someone help you with it, because there's a difference between going into the root of your pain to transmute it, to let it, to really feel it, to let it go, versus if you've been dealing with something for a while. Many people hear this and they're not really equipped to do it themselves, and so they go into the pain, but they're doing it from a place of actually strengthening the pain body. They're doing it from a place, and I'm not laughing at it, because they're doing it from a place of, instead of like feeling the pain to let it go, it actually, like, you feel the pain and it locks in your aura more. So you actually have to know what you're doing. That's why I'm saying things about like presence opens gates to spiritual hierarchy. You know, humble yourself to reach out to someone if you feel like you're confused and you need help with this, because this ain't no joke. Really. I mean, you know what's so funny is, you know, some people will watch this, and I'm going to bite my tongue. Some people will watch this and be like, this guy's just talking fluff. Meanwhile, the literal process that I'm defining is they're doing this thing with their pain, going into it. They're not transmuting it, but they're just burying it deeper, deeper. And like, seriously, it could be the thing that unlocks your life, or you could just, you know, blow it off. It is what it is. I don't really know. But let's just get to your advice and then close this reading off, because there is a victory coming at the end of this. If you can turn your back on someone, I do feel like that would be advisable as well. Like almost like doing this work from a distance for some of you, not all of you, if it's not possible. But let's just see, why is the Seven of Swords in your advice? Right? Why is the Seven of Swords in your advice here, Taurus? Let's see. So come on, young demon, looking hungry for some drama. Here, let me serve you mystic lasagna. Okay, whoa, interesting. Well, I mean, some of you are going to feel like you're going in reverse here, especially if you're consciously working with the law of attraction. The Seven of Swords in your advice is clarified by the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, the Emperor, and the Fool. This is a whole new way to get ahead in the world, is what I'm being told to tell you, because the Eight of Pentacles is here in your advice, but when we clarify the Seven of Swords, it's the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. And the first thing coming through here is there, you know, whenever, like, if you're, for some of you, you're saying, I don't want to do this because I don't want to attract negativity to me by going into further negativity. And that's like the dangerous thread that I'm talking about. You know, you have to know what you're doing with this so that you don't just go into pain and then literally lock it into your aura, rather than going into pain to transmute it. And I don't even know how all this works. I just do it. My South Node is in Pisces. I just know how to do it, past life skill. So I'm not even like hating on anyone. What I'm saying is you're going to feel like you're going backwards in order to really mature. And once again, what you have the Emperor here in your advice. That's all about maturity. What frequency you need more of? Maturity. You have the Fool. I really feel like there's a different way you can get ahead in the physical world. Maybe, once again, dealing with your pain and not just bulldozing yourself and just saying, I don't have time to, you know, there's a lot of percentage of these people listening to this, Taurus, very grounded sign. I don't have time to feel my pain. I don't have time to do this mystic. I don't have time to do it. Well, I mean, listen, you need to make time to do it. Literally, like, it's just that simple. I mean, so there's a different way of handling things maybe even a different way of handling aggressors here. I mean, the Emperor here and the Fool is like a different way of looking at a powerful person as foolish for trying to do something negative to you, etc. I'm honestly a little bit confused by this reading. I'm not trying to sit here and say I understand it all. I'm just doing my best to translate a frequency of what's going on here for the Taurus collective. So with that being said, you might feel like you're not as productive in the physical world, or like what this is saying as well is like maybe still work, but don't overdo it here. There's a real danger of you just saying, well, I don't have time for any of this. Fuck this person, I'm just going to go into my work. It's like, really be careful with that, because you're meant to go backwards to go forwards. And some of you, if this is not a present danger, it's working through all of these hiccups in your energy field that have been here maybe for years. Ancestral stuff, the lover you can't forget about, something, it's happening. So don't be afraid to really meditate. And I wouldn't even say active meditation. I would say like literally like stillness meditation. Because if you master resistance, you master this reality. If you have zero resistance, if someone fires a gun at you, the bullet will go around and do like this. It's literally how it works. But am I saying that I have that level of non-resistance? No. If someone pulls out a gun and tries to shoot me, you'll probably hit me. I'm not saying that I'm some sort of like Zen master weirdo here. What I'm saying is I'm aspiring to get to that level, and I hope that you do too, or else you're going to be locked out of it and you're going to be like, what is he talking about? I don't care. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Peace.